Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Game Awards, a night to celebrate the best and discover what's next in video games. Tonight, we are connected through our love of games. Thousands of us here at Peacock Theater and millions more watching around the world in places like China, India, Brazil, in the middle of the night in Europe. I know it's late. I see you guys. Thank you for showing up for this show.
Welcome to Between the Joysticks. Press start and then we're off. Nick and John, they've got the sauce. Breaking news and some hot takes. Even if there's some mistakes, Nick is captaining the ship, while John gives thoughts straight from the hip. But when their powers combine, we're all in for a hell of a time. Between the Joysticks, it's the best. Up to 6 things they will address. Tell all your friends and settle in. Between the Joysticks now begins.
Hello there, and welcome to episode 160 of the video game podcast Between the Joysticks. I am your host, Nick, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, John. On this episode, we break down the 2025 Game Awards. What are our opinions on games like Fate of the Old Republic, Hindguard, and Divinity? Listen to find out. What do we think of Clair Obscur Expedition 33 winning so many awards?
Overrated. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe it inspired someone on this show to give the game an honest try.
He's a douchebag.
All that and much more on this special edition of the podcast Between the Joysticks. How are we doing, John? Are you ready to talk the Game Awards?
Yeah, man, I'm doing great. I was explaining earlier how, I feel like, as I get older and evaluate my gaming tendencies, I go through lulls and peaks, and I'm at a very big peak right now, so I'm all about all this shit.
Stupid.
It is stupid, but, life's stupid, Nick. But we do the best we can.
Yeah, it is interesting, that your hobbies, is a series of, hills and valleys.
You're on a valley right now. You get
I'm
it.
in the valley for sure, and
get it.
you're on the hill. It's fine. We got a lot to talk about. Before we get into the show, though, I am going to give you this opportunity to why are you laughing already?
Because you always try and surprise me with some
bullshit.
bullshit.
Your most anticipated game, your obvious game of the year candidate, had some big news. And as our resident Silksong expert,
Yes.
what do you think of some free DLC coming to Silksong that's nautically themed?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody with a reasonable approach to things who enjoys the series that is Hollow Knight can't be anything but excited for this. It's free. It's, more of what we love. And it's, quote unquote, coming out next year, which leads me into the annoying part of it. It just seems like everybody's, not everybody, but the...
Sure, follow-up question to that.
Uh-huh.
What do we get first? Hollow Knight, what is it called?
Sea of Sorrow?
Sea of Sorrow or Fate of the Old Republic? Which comes first?
Sea of Sorrow.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean...
Sure?
You threw me a softball, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna say Team Cherry strikes me as the kind of developer that was I wouldn't be shocked if they were kind of co-developing these, where they're like, hey, we're gonna just keep working on this too. Maybe part of the reason why this even kind of got a little bit delayed on the back end, although it was the full end of the game. But yeah, I think it'll come out next year. I know there's some people that are still feeling the burn of the delay after delay after delay, but
Yeah,
it's free.
It's
free. And
Team Cherry goes from not talking at all to talking a lot. You gotta at least side eye it a little bit.
100%. I'm not here to say that like it's not a justifiable okay guys, but it's more like just wait till it comes out. What do you really need to wait on pins and needles for this? Like, it's gonna come out and you're gonna play and it's gonna be great and we're gonna be happy.
Okay.
Be happy, people.
Be on that hill with John that loves gaming right now so much.
It's awesome. But no, I mean, got a little minute teaser trailer. I've championed a long time this series, but specifically the art style and the way that the world works. That's one of my favorite things about it. And so every time you go into a new zone and area, City of Tears from the first Hollow Knight's a legendary location in my opinion at this point. And not Blighttown, that's the Dark Souls one. Bilewater, and everything has its own look. So I fully expect this one to be cool, and it allows you to kind of explore the world of sea bugs too, right? Like, we got our land bugs, but crabs and lobsters and that type of shit are kind of sea bugs. I'm sure we'll see some like isopods and things like that, some giant isopods. So yeah, I didn't expect to see an update for this game that quickly, but I also there is one small thing that I would maybe be disappointed in, is if this DLC doesn't include some sort of Pantheon-like thing. Like I'm kind of waiting for that to happen. I'm a little nervous about it because the bosses in this game I think are harder than the first game, so it'll be even tougher. But I mean, that was when I really do think back on Hollow Knight as an experience. Like it's an amazing game, but like I will always just remember that challenge I gave myself of the Pantheon. So hopefully there's something like that included in here. But yeah, man.
Yeah, no, not a lot of specifics, just new areas, bosses, tools. It's there's not much to say. They call it a big expansion, so hopefully
it's gonna be meaty. Like they don't do.
Just sucking that Team Cherry dick,
right.
huh?
Yeah,
wait till The
Witcher 4 starts coming out, all right? Yeah, we'll see how you like it.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, I hope it's not buggy. It better not fucking be buggy. They've never done that before.
How dare you? How dare you? All right. Well, unless you got something, we can get into the meat of this show.
Let's go, baby.
All right, so this is going to be an unusual show. We're going to cover the Game Awards specifically.
Actually, I do have something. Did you see the cute little figurines that they were like
I heard about it. I didn't see them, but I knew alongside this announcement. How are you not getting all of those?
I don't. They're $120, so it's like
for all of them.
For all of them, yeah. They're 15. You can buy them $15 a piece. They're 3 inches, so it is like bigger than I kind of thought. And it would be awesome to have all 8. I might. I don't know, but they do look great. So
for $120, you get all of them, or just
all 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
That's
either
not too bad.
It's not too bad. All said and done, and like putting those up in like a spot in my basement. I might buy.
Good luck.
That's the thing is like if I'm gonna do it, I have to pre-order these and just do it now.
Right. I mean, the one nice thing again with stuff like this is they usually will retain their values. So
$112.
If you decide not to.
I'm gonna do something I never do, and I'm gonna literally pre-order the shit right now.
Live on the show.
Yeah, and I'll deal with my wife later.
All right. If we don't record next week, John has been incapacitated by his
my
wife.
Wife's about to kill me over $112.
Just it's Christmas for me.
And that's the other thing though too is like you really only get a $1 discount if you buy the bundle. So there's like I could just buy the ones I like Sherma. Obviously, he's the little dude that sings.
Okay,
but I don't know.
All right,
these are cool. You should appreciate these as they are very detailed.
I do appreciate those. I would love something that for a game I cared a little bit more about. But yeah. While John's browsing that, this is how you get a hold of us. We want to know what you think of the Game Awards this year, and just in general, what you think about gaming. Send us in your hot takes. That email address is betweenthejoystick@gmail.com. Our Twitter account is @joystickspod, and you can like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Between the Joysticks, we are there. Comment on any of our videos, and you'll be read on this show. Let's get into it. Now, I want to start big picture, get our big thoughts, our big review of the show overall. It is, again, the biggest night in gaming now that E3 is such a muted presence and the gaming landscape has changed. This really is the show for big announcements, things you're not expecting, and this show for sure was full of that. But we're going to get into each individual announcement, but higher level take, John, on our scale, A, B, C, or D. Give us your thoughts and what you would review this 11th Game Awards.
Hold on, I'm pre-ordering these things real quick.
I can talk first.
No, you're good. I was making jokes. I thought that the Game Awards this year continued the tradition of maintaining the high level of trailers and showings that we started to kind of come to expect this year, with some major couple caveats that we'll get into the show. Nick knows one of mine for sure. That was a real letdown to me. But I think overall the games that were showed, the trailers that we did get, it was a good mix of big meaty like trailers where you're actually seeing a little bit of gameplay and some CG stuff as well. Top tier announcements from a lot of teams, and so I give the award show a B. I think that's kind of where I landed on it. If you remove a couple of things and replace them with like I don't know. I'm just gonna say it. I did not like the final trailer for Hindguard, right?
Yeah,
so like if you can, and we'll get into why and all that stuff. But if you remove that and put something in that's like what you or I would like, could potentially start talking about A-level stuff. But there are just a couple misses here and there that let me down a little bit.
Do you think if they maybe flipped? Because I've heard that take too about Hindguard, and we'll get into the game itself. Like if it wasn't positioned as the last thing, if maybe it and Fate of the Old Republic had switched spots, like would the reactions be quite different? But
I think the reaction would be a little different. I don't know if my grading would be just again because Star Wars for me personally, but I would understand that as a final game way more than I do this one.
Right.
So.
I kind of have the same. I think everyone knows now how to do a trailer now. I think every trailer was really well done. I think most of them led into gameplay, which I super appreciate. Even trailers where you're like, are they actually going to go into the game?
No game.
Outside of
no gameplay, no hype.
Right, exactly. That I think a lot of games, unless they were like 2027 and beyond, like some of the bigger reveals were just CG trailers, and I'm fine. But any game that was coming out next year, we got gameplay added to it as well. And even games that this is the first time we've ever seen them, would show a decent chunk of gameplay. So you're getting at least a general idea of what the game is, and I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And just you got to appreciate the spectacle of the Game Awards, the celebrities that are just all over this thing, with starting with like a Jeffrey Wright into the entire cast of the Street Fighter movie. It was just nonstop, and that the stage presence, like the actual stage that the Game Awards are held on, was being used in a lot of these reveals. We had peasants on stage for Divinity. We had a Dylan Faden come down from the sky for the Control reveal. We had the Mephisto from Diablo 4 on stage just talking shit about the crowd and streamers. And yeah, I think the show continues to get bigger and better. Keighley seems to be taking all the advice. Like I forget what category it was, but there were two people that accepted the award, and the second person started talking after the music had started, and they just killed the music and let that person talk. And I know that was a big criticism of this show early on. There's still a lot to learn. Like you said, I think Keighley is definitely not going to end on a game like Hindguard ever again. Nope. That'll never happen again, no matter how much money they probably paid for that. But yeah, I think this is as good as you're gonna get typically, and I'm not gonna let the week end reveal take me down from the A that I think it's at.
Ooh, an A. I'm giving it an A.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just had a really good time the whole time.
Valley you're in.
Yeah,
all that positivity over there.
I just had a good time the whole time, and I wasn't bored. Even games that didn't apply to me, I thought that again, if for really good trailers, and even though you expected the Expedition 33 sweep that we got, it was still amazing to see them all come on stage in their little berets and suspenders and striped outfits, and just revel in what this industry is all about. And when you have a swan story like Sandfall Interactive is having the one of the greatest years of a developer of any kind ever, winning the most rewards at the Game Awards, and feel good story all around. That it was a fun ride.
And man, oh man, can Ben Starr wear the fuck out of some eyeliner?
I think that man can wear anything.
I'm a straight man, but I'm just when him and Jennifer English were on screen together a lot, I was looking at him. You want to say that?
That's right. Well, they're both very beautiful people. Mm-hmm. It's understandable.
Yep.
Ben Starr
just
voice, continues to be incredible.
Welcome to the Ben Starr podcast. This is your host.
I think we talked about it last week. The just obscurity of him till Final Fantasy 16 coming out, and then just Ben Starr. He's going to be in a lot of stuff upcoming, and I'm pretty sure he was in a couple of these trailers we saw. Mm-hmm. But all right, what do you think? How do you think our Twitter poll did?
Skews negative. C's being the number one.
No.
B. Okay, what is it?
A.
A, really?
45% A.
Wow, I wonder why.
9% B. 18% C. 27% D.
Wonder what it is. Like, what is it?
It was a good show. What do you mean? What it is? What is?
But people on the internet are fickle, and they don't analyze critically. So is
Yeah.
it the presence of a new Star Wars game? Is it?
That helps.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. That's interesting.
I mean, yeah. I
Good.
mean, when your game's there, I mean, that
Yeah.
means a lot. You know?
Maybe just people were just speaks to the power that Clair Obscur is this year, and everyone's just so happy they keep winning everything.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
sure. I'm sure. Like I said, gamers win.
Gamers win.
All right. Speaking of Clair Expedition 33, we don't need to go through. We're going to talk about winners now, and we really don't have to go through all the categories again. But do you have anything to add to Expedition 33? Basically, cleaning up Game of the Year, Best Narration, Best Music, Best Performance. Is there? Do you have anything to add to all that?
No. I think this game has been. I mean, we've been talking about this game for 8 months now, so I think everything that needs to be said about it has been said. I mean,
And you're playing it right now, so we're going to talk about it more.
Fourth time's a charm, but I didn't restart this time. I literally just picked up where I was. So really, I finally starting to feel it, which is great. And I've been humming just Clair Obscur. Just kind of like humming all their music throughout the last couple of days. But no, well-deserved. Happy for the team. A good testament to how games should be made in these modern times where, it seems like the standard solution is to just throw more money at the problem as opposed to, taking a more, creative approach towards it. And I think maybe just like the final thing that I hope this game teaches people is this was a game that the developers wanted to play and make. And, it's shocking what can happen when you get these people that are working, right? We all go to work every single day. We all do tasks that we don't want to do. Sometimes we do tasks that we're actually passionate about or at least kind of want to make sure you do it the right way. And, just developers out there, man, publishers, people who write the checks, like understand that. That is more important, I think, than a lot of people want to, say. But, another game like Silksong, that's the exact type of game that those guys wanted to make. And, when you got developers like Ubisoft, these are a bunch of former Ubisoft people. I don't see Ubisoft being the type of company that goes to their developers and says, like, what do you guys want to do? What do you want to make? It's all made by people in suits in a boardroom. And, this is a talking point that's existed in the industry for a long, long time. It's nothing new, but, it's rare, I think, that you do truly see. I mean, is this the first indie, quote unquote, indie winner at the Game Awards? I think it is.
I think so.
So, there is something to be said about it can be done. It is possible.
I have this thought in my head. Is there more to Expedition 33 that we're not hearing? Like, they say, the game was made on a $10 million budget. The developers had to look up YouTube videos on how to make games. They shot a lot of stuff with iPhones. But then also, it's a game that has one of the most stellar voice casts that ever existed, which I wonder, was that just a thing of, COVID, so actors weren't getting normal gigs.
Yeah.
That voice acting gigs there's a lot out there that they can land. Andy Serkis and Charlie Cox and
those
two
are
premier
those
voice
are
actors.
the two, right? Those two specifically are the ones that is weird because I can honestly see Ben Starr and Jennifer English taking on a job where they're just I really like this script. I really like what this game is. I want to be involved in it, so I'm going to lend my voice, right? And I'm sure it might be simplifying it, but I imagine Ben Starr and Jennifer English were in the, doing about a month's worth of work for that game. I don't know. Maybe I'm, but at the end of the day, you're recording lines.
Well, yeah,
I don't think they did
and
the
they're the
mocap.
two main characters, so one would think Charlie Cox and Andy Serkis didn't have to do much work.
Right, so maybe that is the thing, too, where it's you can secure those couple people. Andy Serkis is a legend at what he does, and again, seems like the type of artist that is more about the art than the money or the paycheck. Maybe they're just...
And has a history in video games.
Yeah, and so, maybe there's a lot to that, but no, I think it, assuming that they're not hiding any truths about it. It's, the most expensive part of any company is its employees. So you already have a really good start there with a very small team. Obviously, you got to pay, and then they went out and got the music done by a SoundCloud guy. I'm sure dirt cheap compared to most people. They just
But even still, he got they got the composer dirt cheap, but they still had to pay for a full orchestrated soundtrack, which can't be cheap at all either. I mean,
there might be something to be said about developing games in France too, where there's some sort of governmental
Sure.
subsidies. And I mean, I know that the president of France, Macron himself, like had something to say about this game winning.
Right.
So like, it's a pride of France thing. So maybe they just got a lot of assistance, a lot of help. We live here in the United States where the government doesn't want to do shit for any of us.
That's true. There could be like a lot of grants and subsidies and things given to them because they're a new company and they're a small team and who knows. But I would always like to know how that got.
It's rare though that I'm like as interested in a team's follow-up game to their debut game as I will be like when Sandfall unveils whatever their next game is. It's gonna be interesting to pick apart and like are you guys just trying to do the same thing again? Are you just gonna go with the small team and it worked once, or are you gonna be like, okay, well we got all eyes on us now, let's scale up to 200 people,
right, and
go from there. So but no man, it's a cool story. It beats something like I don't know. Well, Astrobot was also a lot of the Game of the Year award winners have had cool stories behind them, but this is probably the best one. Like as a development story. Yeah,
passionate people make really good games. When they make the game they want to make, like you said. Any kind of the categories we kind of covered on the nominee show. Best adaptation, Last of Us Season 2 got it, which is wild. Most anticipated.
In fairness, it's definitely the highest quality of all those. It was just a letdown, right? So it's like,
right.
Got nominated in the right year.
GTA 6, most anticipated, not surprising there. Best multi-arc raiders, not surprising. And then I think the only games that were Game of the Year nominated to get blanked were Kingdom Come and Death Stranding.
Did Yote get anything?
It didn't get anything, but it wasn't a Game of the Year nominee.
Oh, you're right.
The other Game of the Year nominees at least won one other award.
Okay.
Hades 2, Best Action. Best Action Adventure, The Silk Song. Best Family Game, Bonanza. So,
which I guess that makes sense. Kingdom Come was like all those won in their specific categories. Kingdom Come and Death Stranding would have been competing in RPG probably. I mean, I don't know what Death Stranding really classifies as, but if you were
I'm sure it was in one of these.
I mean, it could be action adventure or adventure, but yeah. Okay. But so tracks.
All right. So, and now we can get into the world premieres. I did want to cover two things that were covered in speeches. Expedition 33 got new DLC the night it won. That was announced during their acceptance speech. And then South of Midnight is coming to PlayStation. That was in their acceptance speech.
That was a weird one.
For Games for Impact, South of Midnight won. And they announced that, hey, spring next year will be on PlayStation.
I just like to think that then the lady went to work and got fired. Why did you do that?
I mean, to do. Again, all those eyes on you. Keely's out there touting how many people watched the Game Awards this year. So
makes me. I think a lot of award shows probably operate this way, that like the winners know who's going to win a lot of times. Like, because I don't know. I'm sure Claire was like, okay, we have a 99% chance to win, but like you're telling me the South of Midnight guys knew that they were going to win that award, and so their plan was to announce it on the stage. And I guess even if they didn't win, they could just be like, all right, guys, unleash the blog post. But it's interesting.
Right. All right, well, let's get into the games and the world premieres, because that's what everyone really cares about. Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
If
fuck
we're
you,
all
Ben
being
Starr.
honest.
Yeah. I don't care about Ben Starr at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Or his eyes.
So we got our list from Reset Era. They did a list of all the games announced. It's not 100% in the order that they were revealed in the Game Awards, but that doesn't really matter. We know where they were at.
Yep. Sorry, guys. We let you down. It's our fault.
So we'll go through it again, John. If you got nothing to add, we can just move on.
Yep.
Because some of these are going to be smaller announcements, but it started with the pre-show, and the pre-show started with the Free Shepherd from Frame Interactive. This looks to be a third-person sheep herding game, but there's more to it. Seems like there's some alien structures and things that aren't supposed to be there. But you control the dog, and you got to herd sheep, and there'll probably be more to it than just such a simple mechanic.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be, anytime you have to herd things in a game, there's probably you got to have 10 things on this platform and
Right.
15 things on that platform. I'm sure it'll be some puzzle game associated type thing. But, I think like, you remember that Humanity game? Or what was it, Humanity?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
where you're-
with your Shiba Inu's.
Yeah, exactly. Like something like that. But no, I dig the world. I'm a hiker, natural mountain kind of guy, so just the environments are great. And if Stray can get the love that fucking game got, this game better get the same, because I know cats are probably the internet's favorite animal, but my dog people better show up for this one if it's good. This is a review and see, type game.
Okay.
Could be could be maybe some little Neva vibes type thing.
Yeah, and PS5 and Steam for that game.
Ooh, 2027 though. Ugh.
Oh, who can think that
Ugh,
far?
gross.
Post Grand Theft Auto? I don't think
post
so.
Sea of Sorrow or whatever the Silk song is. Sea of
No,
Sorrow.
that's 2030.
Shut up.
All right. Up next, Capcom returns with Pragmata, coming April 24th of next year. They added a Switch 2 version. It's getting a demo. That demo is out on PC and coming to consoles later. I mean, we've seen the game a couple times now. This is a third-person shooter where you have a little android girl on your back, and you have a hacking minigame that you must complete for puzzles and to hurt enemies. You have to hack them before you can do damage to them. So a little kink in your normal third-person shooter, a little different gameplay technique. But what do you think, John?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I think that Capcom still has a pretty solid 8-year streak going. The only games that I can think of that was kind of a dud from them in this past 8 years was Exoprimal, and even that was received okay. It just was not, anything that people wanted to stick around with. So, it's another. If this reviews well, I would check it out, but I need to feel how this hacking stuff works, and is that a mechanic that I'm going to get tired of, deep into the game, or can they keep it fresh enough where you're doing new things? But I will say it does seem pretty satisfying if like you got a big hulking enemy rushing towards you and you're like scrambling to hack something, and you do it and you pull it off and you like blast him in the face with a shotgun. Could be cool.
Yeah, it's definitely something I have to feel, because
100%.
it is really different. It's either something you'll love or hate.
I will say that, like, I mean, I'm showing Nick a picture on the Reset Era thread. It's basically the protagonist in his big hulking helmet, with the face like opening so you can see his actual human face. There's no way that this story can be anything I care about. Like, looking at a character like that, there's no way.
Are you sure? Because it has all the tropes of your typical father daughter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what. But that's kind
The
of
Last of Us.
I
God
think
of
that's
War.
what I'm saying. Like, so you have that, which is fine, but like combined with this guy looking like that, I don't think I'll be able to get the emotional resonance needed. Where he's like, crying over his little android daughter dying or whatever, and he's got that big dumb helmet on. I just, I won't be able to do it. Sci-fi space stuff for me is really cool. Maybe it's why I wasn't like as big into Mass Effect as a lot of people, but like I always find it hard to relate on an emotional level with that stuff, right? Like Star Wars is another example where it's just like the moment you introduce Jabba the Hutt and all these other crazy looking creatures, all type of emotional impact goes out the window for me.
Okay. All right.
We'll see.
I didn't realize we were going to go there, but
Yeah.
we can move on. We'll add demo impressions.
Well,
when
I'm
it
sorry
comes
for having
out.
thoughts. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you wanted me to just be vanilla.
Do you have thoughts on Celesta 2?
Game of the show, man.
Coming
Game
from
of the show.
Tactical Adventures, launching in early access on March 12th. Do you
I
have
have no
any?
idea. Nope.
All right, we can move on.
Sounds free to play.
All right, and it's funny. This was a big theme of the night, and theme in game development in general has been the announce a game, but announce what games the people working on it have worked on previously.
This is my new thing that I've stuck on. It's like, oh, okay.
And the first entry in that is Bradley the Badger, which comes from the creative director from Mario and Rabbids and the lead designer on Red Dead Redemption. This is a third-person action game where it seems like the game is broken in ways, and that you can kind of use game dev tools to create a level, complete platforming. There's a lot of nods to other games. I think the first game was Badgerborn, which is a Bloodborne game, and then they had the Cyberpunk one, and then the Last of Us world, very similar, but with this like really goofy sense of humor. In fact, at the very end, he breaks out into the real world as well. So I think this is one to keep an eye on. It gave me like Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah,
vibes.
I've seen that a lot. Yeah, I mean, the most anthropomorphic animal creature you've ever seen.
Right.
He looks like Marty McFly, but a badger. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Keep your eye on this one if you're a puzzle guy. I think it seems like one of those games where it's like you might, you can transform into this thing and you can grow this thing and you might be like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to figure out the puzzle. But it seems like there's a very distinct visual style to the things you can actually interact with. They have this checkered pattern to them. But yeah, what Nick was referring to earlier is just the thing that I've kind of like really clued in on, where it's like it seems like there's like 20 games in a like on a wheel where they're like, okay, we need to have somebody attached to one of these so we can use it to prop out our new product. And those games are like Zelda, Red Dead, Grand Theft Auto, Half-Life, Portal. Those big games where it's like, oh, we have a developer who worked on this, and then you look at their thing, it's like, yeah, they were like the assistant director, or assistant like animation lead or something. So it's just a funny thing I noticed. But this one does look good, and
well, I think we'll get into like I said, a lot of these games, but yeah, a common theme now is these developers leaving studios and then forming their new ones. Like it was big news. I forget his name, but he's the lead guy on Tekken. He's been there like 30 years. He left, and it's like he's leaving at the end of the year, and it's like, oh, I bet you he'll be at Summer Game Fest next year announcing his next fighting game from his studio. And yeah, that was such a huge theme here, including this next game, which is Stupid Never Dies, an action RPG from GP Track 50, which again is from a former Capcom developer, coming to PlayStation 5 and Steam next year. This was a weird trailer. It had a lot of Suda 51, the developer vibes.
I don't like Suda 51 vibes.
Right.
I'm just going to get that off the bat.
Oh, everyone likes it when it was that Romeo game.
I didn't.
Okay, good. Well, then you're not. But this is the same. I thought this was Lollipop Chainsaw 2 at first.
Yeah.
It had that kind of vibe, that Suda vibe. Basically, you're an undead dude who third-person action combat who looks to be trying to rescue his girlfriend. They sing a cute little song together. It gets into the gameplay. It's nothing to write home about.
It's for very specific types of people who are into certain things. That's just like, I was talking earlier about like, not liking space things because I can't vibe with like when I see the characters looking weird or whatever. This is kind of the same thing. It's just like it's so off the wall that I just can't. Right. I can't. I just can't maintain it in my brain in any way.
Right. It just doesn't look fun to play. It might be like No More Heroes was, like a perfectly stylized, just funny and silly and off the wall, and you can appreciate it for that. But until someone tells me to look at this game,
just the visual style, it's so chaotic and just I can't tell.
I think that's.
Am I doing good, Dad? Like I have no idea. It's explosion after crazy particle thing. But yeah, it looks cool. Like this, he like raises zombies out of the grounds that have like grenade like what's the word? The wicks. Like the wicks are coming down. Like so, it looks like they're explosions or what. It looks cool, but not for me.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, that got us to the main show for the very first big announcement. And like I said, Jeff knows when he has a big thing. I did appreciate after this trailer aired, he just said, boom, we're starting in a big way. And, it was not on our bingo board. The rumors were out there for a KOTOR 2 remake that we talked about last week. But no, we're not doing that. Mm-hmm. How about a new entry in the Knights of the Old Republic franchise, Fate of the Old Republic? And guess who's going to helm such a project? Casey Hudson, formerly of BioWare, formerly worked on KOTOR 1, formerly worked on Mass Effect. Now he's back. This looks to be published by LucasArts.
Now, this is a rare example, despite what I just said, of actually using a name of somebody because he's the guy that made fucking Mass Effect. So
correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So, let's just we can talk about the trailer itself, and then we can kind of talk about the reality of this announcement.
Yeah.
But what do you think, John? Neither of us have played and completed a Knights of the Old Republic game, so not the biggest fans to like touch on how important this is. We, as you mentioned last week, how KOTOR is like, people arguably will say that's their favorite game of all time, and they're right. It's that big of a deal. But I mean, how do you feel about this?
I mean, no gameplay, no hype, so it's hard to have it's hard to have feelings about it besides that, like, oh, I hope that's good,
right?
And as a person who has only ever beaten one BioWare game, and that was Mass Effect 1, I'm not the best, not the best person to really kind of
just some kind of monster.
I know
over here.
to really say that this is something I care a lot about, but I hope it's good. I know that the people who are into narrative games, there is no higher bar than Mass Effect 2, and if you can somehow replicate that in the future, like, that's a incredible accomplishment. It's just, it's a high bar to hit, first of all, and then when you combine that with like the fact that this team was founded last year, so we know that July of this year. So July of this year,
Casey Hudson had a studio with NetEase that shut down last year. So
yeah, so. And
that's the reality part I want to get to.
And the history of Star Wars specifically having some games that have been announced, and then they like what's happening with them, and then they go away. Star Wars 1313, the recently announced KOTOR remake a couple years ago that seems to be
Eclipse
in limbo. Eclipse, which we had a trailer for 3-4 years ago now with like a 2028 date. That's like, okay, maybe. So it's something that I hope people who are hyped about this understand, that like just cool your jets a bit.
Yeah.
If it shows back up, if we get constant updates for it and things like that, and it's moving along great, cool. But
I wouldn't have this on my radar till it shows up again. That's kind of how
was this
I feel.
the game that Jason Schreier like kind of had a tongue-in-cheek tweet about, where it's like it could be a PS7 game? Was that this one?
Yes.
And I know he's
is.
making a joke about that. But
yeah, and Casey Hudson did respond to that. Like, he's like, again, as much as he can say, like, that's not the plan to have it released in 2030. But the reality of game development, the reality of a project this size, giant spanning RPG with multiple characters, the dialogue decisions, everything that Mass Effect perfected on was started with KOTOR. So the bare minimum is that it's Mass Effect in space.
Right. And there's no way that this is just like greenlit in like a one-off project. Like I'm sure they're hoping that this is the start of a trilogy or something like that also. So yeah, you gotta really lay your foundation properly and right. And that's not incredibly easy to do. I mean, Casey is the right guy to do it. So absolutely huge he's there. If you announce this without him, I'd be yeah, okay. But also it's just like, I feel like sometimes too, we just maintain that these guys that have once shown us something great, that they can just automatically do it again.
Thank you.
And like, that's not a foregone conclusion. Sometimes they can, but
and because like post Mass Effect, this guy is not.
What's he got? Anthem?
Anthem, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's it. So I mean, he did come back to BioWare briefly, and then left again. So
yeah, the world ain't quite the same as it was in 2008 when he was working on this. So,
right. Right at peak BioWare, right? Like when the doctors ran it, I forget their names. They're just both have PhDs that founded BioWare, and all the talent there is gone.
Right, and your tools you use are different, and there's different company goalposts that you're trying to hit, and maybe back in the day. They didn't have to worry about finances as much, and he will this time, so he's got to cut corners. Who knows?
Right.
All sorts of things. But I will say, I think this was probably the announcement of the show. I would probably say.
And oh, okay. I'll think about that
on a grand scale, not for me personally.
Right.
On a grand scale.
Right, and I think it is a keynote to say that this is published by LucasArts and or Lucasfilm Games. Like that's like you're directly working with the Star Wars people, so
they're
it's
going
not
to protect
like,
their IP. They'll make sure it's good.
Yeah, well, I think you're removing more barriers, right? Like you can't do anything you can't just do what you want willy nilly with these IPs. It's like it's great we have access to art and history and lore that comes with Star Wars, but you also can't just be like, oh, we're just going to do crazy things in here. It's like everything's got to be checked and approved within, I'm sure, Star Wars lore masters or whatever the title is. But
Yeah, this shit's gonna be canon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And so, but so I think that does help. Hopefully, ease the development process and hopefully get the game out sooner.
Yep.
But I don't know. That's me just theorizing.
Yeah. As a Star Wars poo-pooer, I mean, I hope this is good, and I want to play it. Yeah, I don't know. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I think you get it.
Yeah, I think that's.
But we'll see.
That's good. All right. Next up, we got another look at John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. It got a release date of March 12th of next year. We've seen the game multiple times. It's a first-person shooter with lots of enemies on screen at once. I don't know if there's really much to add.
Yeah, it's like it's a different version of what was it, Space Marine 2? It seems like, more like kind of not third person, more first person,
right?
More grounded, less spacey. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it.
Okay, all right.
John Carpenter is the man, though. He is the man.
All right. Next up, we got Audio Mech, a rhythm action game from AudioSurf. This is a trippy ass game. It is a third person shooter, or not third person. It's a
twin stick.
Yeah, it's like a Contra.
Yeah. Really cool
Twin
idea.
stick shooter.
I struggle to see how the execution is going to be satisfying, and I don't mean from like a necessarily even like the things you're doing in moment to moment, but like if your weapons coincide with music and you're in the thick of a battle, it's going to be very annoying to have to be like, oh,
there's the lull in the song.
Yeah, exactly. and I'm sure hopefully it's smartly designed enough to account for that. But like, I can just see myself be like, no, I need more bass right now, and then you just gotta get frustrated. I don't know. That might not be the case, but that's a cool idea, and I applaud them for going for it. But it seems like a game that's going to come out and probably get forgotten about.
Sure. Just announced for Steam right now, so we'll see. All right. Next up is another one of the big world premieres. That statue in the desert, in the Mojave Desert. What could it be?
Hello Kitty Island Adventure 2.
It is, in fact, from Larian Studios. It is, in fact, Divinity Original Sin 3. No, it's just Divinity. Mm-hmm. That's the part of our discussion last week where we were like, I don't believe you, because they can trickily be like, it wasn't Divinity Original Sin 3. It was just Divinity.
Video game PR thinks they're so clever. They think, and for most people it gets past them, but for you and I, it's like, I see I can see exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, again, given the statue, there were only a few contenders, to kind of meet the artistic design of that thing, and and we got it announced with one of the most wildest trailers I've ever seen in my lifetime.
I wrote down Divinity trailer was probably the gnarliest trailer I've ever seen.
Right.
Yeah.
What happens in the trailer, John?
Oh, I don't. God.
Okay. A man is burnt.
I mean,
it's like Wicker Man with a body inside the giant Wicker Man.
There's a medieval type festival occurring with jugglers and stilts guys and music, and it looked like a carnival type thing. While it's kind of you're getting these weird cuts to a dude that's obviously restrained and something horrible is about to happen to him, and you find out that all these people are basically surrounding these three pyre type Wicker Man structures that are getting burned down, and you're like, oh my god, this is absolutely horrible, and they light it on fire.
Well, it's like quickly turns from like festival to like a religious act is happening.
Right. Well, yeah. So what, they pull the curtain down and light the thing on fire, and like as soon as that kind of happens, it seems like things flip. There's like a cult leader or something there. People start having sex. Like there's all this like just gross stuff happening. Then the dude you basically camera is up close watching a guy's skin melt off.
Right.
So you're doing that, and you're like, whoa, this is horrible.
And his blood like drips and turns into like little demons,
and then and this big boil on his back starts to fester and bubble up, and then it pops, and then it just chaos ensues, and then you get the Hellgate,
right?
Which is what the statue is, and it's. I liked the trailer a lot. I think it really sold what this world is, where it's like it's both lighthearted and horrible at the exact same time. You don't know what you're gonna get.
When people say Divinity's darker than Baldur's Gate, that means something to me.
It caused me to re-download Divinity 2. I know, Nick. I'm not gonna play it. I understand myself, but it caused me to do that. And they just did a PS5 update for it recently, which is interesting. But
yeah, this week.
Yeah, but. I did like the trailer, but I do also I rarely agree with the people that are like, whoa, that was a lot. It's like, if I was watching the Game Awards with my 8-year-old son just as like a, hey, hang out with dad and watch some things, maybe as a parent I should know better in this scenario, but that was hard. Like, that was a, oh my God, what are we looking at? Do I need to pull my son out of the room thing? Luckily, I didn't have to do that.
Right.
But like that, it did go pretty hard.
Yeah.
And I'm personally cool with it, but I get other people's feelings.
Yeah, it's, I mean, again, it's a 100% CG trailer. Gosh knows when this is going to come out.
Yeah.
Larry, in his sense, confirmed that this will be in the style of Divinity and Baldur's Gate 3. This is a turn-based RPG. This is what they do. This isn't anything different. You know, they're not moving to like a third-person action game of some kind or anything else. It is what you expect from them, but yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean, and yeah, and that's. I feel like we are kind of underselling this announcement a little bit, because I do think in like 10, 15 years, when you look back on lists of like greatest games of all time, I think Baldur's Gate 3 has a real shot at that in a lot of lists. Like that game, you know, we were kind of talking, as Nick and I do throughout the workday, trying to just distract ourselves from monotony, you know, about like, okay, if you took the last 6 Game of the Year winners, like who would win? And I think personally Baldur's Gate 3 wins, and that's against Elden Ring and Astrobot and Last of Us 2. So when you start to like talk about that, then okay, like you go back further, and like this is an Ocarina of Time type caliber game, and so
right.
To get the next game from that team, a team that has consistently built upon the previous game that they've done and improved upon everything, right? If you go from Divinity Original Sin, which I believe was an 85, into the second one, which was like a 93, into Baldur's Gate, which was a 96, and like just they keep getting better, and so I fully expect this one when it comes out to absolutely win Game of the Year. Like that type of stuff, you expect it to happen. So big announcement. I wish I liked those games and the style that they were a little more.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one day you can give Baldur's Gate a fair shot.
I was at Palace Show Will's last night, and I grabbed it, and I was like, I want to try this again. He's like, I'm doing a co-op playthrough. I'm like, that's fine. I don't need it anyway right now. But I was like, I want to try it again, you know, because that's the type of person I am, Nick. I was like, oh, Divinity 2? Nope, still not that. But Baldur's Gate 3, maybe. You know.
I mean, if the game could find you at the right time, that's the hard part.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that happens one day. But
so yeah, just give it some time. Not right now, but
yeah,
one day. Maybe it'll catch you. But all right, let's move on. Next up, another game from Fuse Games, a studio led by former Criterion Games developer, the makers of Burnout. There's another Star Wars game to look out for, and that is Galactic Racer. Looks to be a spiritual successor to Star Wars Pod Racers.
Absolutely.
But this game isn't exclusively to pod racers. I mean, there's speeders and other vehicles. Not much to go on here, just kind of watching vehicles crash and drive down a couple of tracks here. They had like Jakku from Star Wars The Force Awakens. They had an ice planet. They had a swamp planet. Looks good. The market for not car racers needs more games in it.
I was shocked at myself how into this I kind of was. Like,
yeah.
And I don't particularly, Gran Turismo 3 was great, but since then I haven't really vibed with one. But and I never really even played Pod Racer that much. But like, I am personally happy that they're not all just pods. Like,
right.
It allows a little bit of as much as I grumble about a lot of these franchises, I did as a kid love the original trilogy, and so like, if there's a way to use like any of Luke's like little speeder that he uses across Tatooine, or even the Millennium Falcon, as cliche as that might be, makes me a little more interested. And it looks good. Like the environments specifically are really nice. So, yeah, this could be a good one. Let me ask you a question though. Are you more hyped or disappointed that this is Racers and not Pod Racers 2?
Oh, I don't have the
You don't
affinity
care?
for
Okay.
Pod Racers.
I know some people for whatever reason they loved that game.
I mean, it did end on Sebulba, so I mean, again, that lineage is there to the Pod Racers, but no.
Okay.
I just want a fun, fast game where a little bit of destruction, like Burnout. I think Burnout was always a good franchise that mixed the good arcade racer with, realistic car physics. But we'll see.
It's good. It was cool.
But yeah, next year, a nice little surprise. All right, next up is Wildflower Interactive.
Wildflower.
Another studio made by a former developer. This one is Bruce Straley.
This is another one that deserves the credit he's getting. Co-creator of The Last of Us.
Right.
Co-creator.
Yes.
That counts.
Yeah, and Uncharted 4, Uncharted 2, a big deal. He left Naughty Dog in 2017 for just being burnt out on video games, and this is kind of his the game he wanted to make, so it brought him back into games. So to John's point earlier about these studios making games they want to make and being very successful, maybe this can be it. But the game's called Coven of the Chicken Foot. It is a third-person platformer / puzzler. You play as an old lady with chicken feet, and I believe she goes into a dungeon that is already been cleared out by like the heroes. The heroes have gone through the dungeon, and for whatever reason, she's in there to perform something. She's Coven. She's probably some kind of witch of some kind. But she runs into a mysterious monster, and it looks like you can kind of command that mysterious monster to help you with these puzzles, with the platforming. Think The Last Guardian is kind of a very similar take here, but it's got a stylized art style. Looks interesting, and again, this is a game that I guess is just for Steam, planned for Steam right now. They're looking for a publisher to get on other platformers, but other platforms, get on console and whatnot. But right now, just on Steam, and I like this.
I really specifically like the art style. It's got a Studio Ghibli kind of feel to it. But yeah, absolutely, this game could almost be titled, the indie Last Guardian. Like, that's exactly what they're going for. But I love the idea of playing as a little old lady. That you don't see a lot of games where you're controlling a little old lady, and you can only make that work with some sort of like puzzly platforming kind of game. Obviously, probably not a lot of combat going on in here, but I'm intrigued about this one. I do want to give this game 2 awards of the Game Awards night, when I think it gets the best named game award. I like the name a lot. It's just kind of, to put chicken foot into a title of a game is just, I don't know, tough to do, and I feel like I dig it. But then also best protagonist award. I feel like, when Nick and I do our end of the year wrap ups, where we have like silly awards, and one of them always is who do you want to have a drink with? I feel like this lady's going to be, if I play it, she's going to be in the running.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Although I will say I feel like the platforming is very floaty, intentionally floaty, I think. But I was like, I don't know how this is going to play. But I got my eye on you.
Yeah, again, first look at a game. I mean, who knows when it officially is going to come out, but it's just a nice game on your radar.
I wonder if Bruce specifically was like kind of getting burnt out with also like just the dire nature that The Last of Us is, and like I need something lighthearted and like colorful.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he did an interview on Kind of Funny. I think it's just game development burnt him out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Naughty Dog and their strive for their perfection. And deservedly so. Uncharted 4 and Last of Us. Yeah. Those are pretty good games.
And I know Neil Druckmann haters love to prop out Bruce Straley. They're like, no, it was Bruce's game, it wasn't Neil's, and there's probably some truth to that, but I always find it funny when they do. Yeah, sure.
All right. Next up, we got a game from Frictional Games, the maker of Soma and Amnesia. Another celebrity, Stellan Skarsgård, is going to be part of the sci-fi thriller Antos, which is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. I don't think it had a release date, but what we got, it's next year. Okay. But what we got is looks like a first-person exploration game. It had a little bit of a kind of like a BioShock, but without the first-person shooter aspects. You kind of are going what feels like a utopia of some kind on another planet, or it's a space station, or a moon. Who knows? But something not great's going on there.
Right, definitely presents the vibe of like, welcome to our city, everything's great, and then slowly you go, oh no, what's happening here? One of those kind of games.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue. What is the city in BioShock?
Rapture.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, it looks good, and another game just on my radar now.
Yeah, Soma has always been one of those lingering backlog games that I can't get rid of, and so maybe it's finally time to, shake it off and do that one. I had a really good time with 1,000 Times Resist, which we'll talk about later on the show. Not today, but maybe next week. But it was a really nice, fun, 10-hour narrative thing. So maybe it's time to do that and get prepared for this one. But I know because a lot of people hold Soma's narrative specifically in very high regard.
Okay.
No reason they won't do it again.
That's true. All right. Next up, 2XKO, the fighting game with League of Legends characters, is adding Caitlyn to it and is also coming out officially in January.
Is 2XKO League of Legends characters? I thought it was specifically Arcane. Am I?
They're all.
Is Arcane League? Okay. See, that's how much I care about League of Legends.
That's fine. If you want to say Caitlyn from Arcane, that is acceptable.
Yeah, sure. I have no thoughts on this. So
no, I didn't think you did.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Next up, we knew this was coming. We knew that Leon was in it. We knew this game had to show more. Resident Evil Requiem gets its third trailer now. I guess the big reveal is Leon is in fact playable. This will be a dual narrative story. It sounds like our Grace will be the more survival character, where the more action heavy will be Leon. At the end of the trailer, we get kind of a look at Leon doing his signature kicks and combat moves with some enemies here. But John, what did you think of this trailer?
Why can't Capcom make good trailers for this game? I don't understand. I don't understand what they're doing.
I feel like something's up. I do. I feel like something is off. Not to mention the red flags that the last time they did this with this franchise was Resident Evil 6, where you had multiple protagonists, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they're getting a little bit of off the reins here with the success of 7 and 8. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm probably a little higher on what I think the final product will be. I don't think by any stretch of the world we're going to get any type of Resident Evil 6 scenario, and I don't think that's what you're saying either. I think this game will be well received, but I'm not super thrilled with the idea of the different playstyle thing. And here's why, is because while both are probably going to be executed well, I think it's going to be very common for a player to prefer one over the other. And so if you're stuck in a section of something you don't want to be doing and thinking about the side you want to be doing, you're probably going to be like, this is fine, but let me get back to doing what I'm doing. I also think about my favorite moments of Resident Evil, which are the combination of the two, right? I think of being in the police station in Resident Evil 2 with a liquor, and you're like, oh shit, what the fuck is that? But you have a gun ready to do whatever you need to do. I think of being in Resident Evil 7 and kind of going into some of the basements and finally seeing the mold creatures or whatever they are. And it's like, again, okay, cool, at least I have a gun where I can pop you in the head and run and get positioned. Whereas, and maybe this is jumping ahead, and Ashley can do some light forms of Grace can do some light forms of combat, but if there's a very big juxtaposition between what each character is doing, I'm going to find it hard to probably get through the whole game having a nice even. I'm high the entire time.
Well, it seems like when games do this, I don't know, Spider-Man. What is the big takeaway on Spider-Man? The Mary Jane sections.
Yeah, nobody wants to do that.
And a lot of games like this that have kind of these moments.
But I also don't like it when Resident Evil does go full guns blazing. I don't really like the end of Resident Evil 4. When you all of a sudden you're on the island, you have 200 rounds of an SMG. It's I don't really like
and
this
either. And it becomes
either.
a cover shooter, basically.
Yeah, so it's I've always liked the combination of the two, where it's you're going to have moments of really big stealth where you're on pins and needles. If you get found, you're fucked. But you're going to have moments where it's oh shit, I'm found, but here comes the dude with the bag on his head and the chainsaw. Okay, I can shoot a couple hunting rifle things at his face and then go do this and kick a guy and roundhouse, so we'll see. I still have a lot of faith in Capcom. I mean, I don't think that they're just going to fall off a cliff, but it is. We'll
talk
weird.
about one of their announcements later, but
all right, Mr. Negative Nancy gave the show an A. What are you talking about? And so, yeah, I mean, I'm still, I think, day one on it. It's just why haven't we gotten just a better look at what this gameplay is, and maybe there's going to be some state of play or something that's just focused entirely on it, and that's what we've been waiting for. I don't know, but
sure, yeah, and I mean, just as far as the trailer, it's also just very weird because it's showing scenes of cops and crime scenes and I don't know, like someone held up in a building that they have to get, and you're like, this is weird just for Resident Evil, and for a game that's gonna take place in Raccoon City, which is as iconic as it gets. I mean, the first 3 games all were set in Raccoon City. That you would think that we'd be seeing a different take of this, but it's Capcom. They're so weird. They're one of the weirdest developers out there. So none of their games really make any sense.
Yeah,
but they make very good games.
Nobody's playing Devil May Cry for the narrative through line or cohesion.
Right. Let's add a character that talks to a flying rooster or whatever that was.
Yeah.
And the last Devil May Cry. They're weird, but I don't know. Something feels off. I wonder if we'll get a demo of this too.
Probably. Yeah. I give this game the worst trailer of the show award.
Wow.
Which is hyperbolic, guys. Don't dig in and be like, really? You think this trailer's worth than whatever? But it's just more just like, Nick and I were watching and we were on the phone together and it's just like, come on, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, you would think one of the biggest things about Resident Evil is bosses, and they can't even touch on a cool looking boss that you're just like, oh my god, the Resident Evil 4 ship, or when you're on the boat with the giant monster in the water. There are just moments that why aren't you focusing on that? And
I mean, they could be just playing, hey, we're just trying to play it coy and you're going to
get all there could be a lot of interesting things in the game and they don't want to show it, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I think we'll be fine.
All right. I'm
Resident Evil's Capcom. Well, do you think Resident Evil's Capcom's biggest franchise? Street Fighter? It's hard to, but it's
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, what are we talking? Most cultural relevance or most
right.
money made? But I would, Resident Evil, I think, is their most near and dear to their heart franchise, probably. And so they're going to try and treat it well. They don't want to go back to the 6 days.
All right.
Get out of that hole. Hopefully. We'll see.
All right, let's move on to the next game from Jonathan Blow's Thekla. He previous games The Witness and Braid. They have a new puzzle game called Order of the Sinking Star, and I love you. They tried to explain how this works. Look up a trailer. It's like a isometric view with you're pushing things around and different elements to that. But they touted that this game's going to have over 1,000 puzzles in it, which is impressive, I believe. And this was on another podcast where they said it's for completionists. Around 500 hours.
Crazy.
So that is that is insane. But the game is interesting. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Again, when I tell you trailers show well, when they took the every puzzle's this grid, this little map, and then they zoomed out and zoomed out again and then zoomed out again, and then you realize, oh, all the puzzles are connected to each other, and it just that map just didn't stop zooming out, and you're like. Oh, there are hundreds of puzzles I'm looking at right here. Yeah. That's impressive.
If you are a puzzle person, if you enjoyed The Witness, if you've ever liked any type of brain teasers, definitely give this one a look. I mean, this gets my sneaky high Open Critic Award of the show award because I think this game's gonna come out. The IGN gave The Witness a 10. Braid was a beloved. Belovedly reviewed game when it came out, so I think this one's gonna be another one. Jonathan Blow is a very specific type of developer, and he does what he does very well. And I like the name too. I think Order of the Sinking Star just got a cool ring to it. But I hope it's something that it's fun to do these puzzles and not just every single time is a constant brain teaser. Where you're actually making progress. But I know this game's not for me. I just don't have the patience for it. But it does look really, really,
you never know.
Really good for the people who do.
You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Blueprints will be your game.
Yeah, we'll see.
So who knows?
We'll see.
But all right, next up we got another look at Exodus, the game from Archetype Entertainment. Again, one of the more BioWare devs, including the BioWare. I didn't even realize a lot of big key BioWare people the Casey Hudson heyday people are with this studio now. So he can't get those people.
Yeah, right. This is the game you should be looking at.
But Exodus, another look at it. Again, this is the Mass Effect clone. My God, the Mass Effect clone.
Yeah.
The ship looks right out of Mass Effect. Your ship comes out of a gate that looks like Mass Effect.
What's it called? The N7?
Yeah. Your ship.
Yeah.
Everything looks exactly out of it. The combat, the mechanics. Coming 2027, so definitely more time, but I mean, this game looks pretty close to done. I mean, this could be a launch trailer for all I know, between all the cutscenes and the gameplay we got to see.
It looks shockingly good to me. Like when I expected this game to show back up, I was kind of expecting, I don't know, just something a little more limited or janky looking. And while I do think specifically the human character models look a little derpy to me, I think the other creatures look incredible.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a guy we work with who was saying that he thought this trailer looked very dated, and I gotta say I really disagree with that. I don't like, especially the environments and the way that the action looks. It's like, this seems pretty top notch. And if you are talking about how hopefully the breadth of this game is, it makes sense why like maybe some of the character models look a little weak. But there's like a shot of this orangutan looking dude later in the trailer, and everything looks, again, way better than I expected. And then you got guys like Matthew McConaughey in there.
It is an Unreal Engine game, so it'll share that DNA, right? Like
right.
With other games that are running in Unreal Engine. So
yeah,
I mean,
I'm not sold on this protagonist though. Something about the protagonist is not vibing with me.
Yeah, I think
they have stupid hair.
Well, if it is like Mass Effect, you can customize your character, so don't worry about that. I mean, the Mass Effect Andromeda had the best default character of all time.
Yeah,
the female character model, but I don't know. I don't know if this will have male and female protagonists or anything like that. But yeah, a game that looks really, really solid, and I think the character designs. When I say BioWare people, one of the people is Drew Karpyshyn, who wrote on KOTOR 1 and all the Mass Effect games and wrote the Mass Effect novels and stuff like that. So if you like the writing of the Mass Effect games, I'm sure this writing is going to be on point with that. So
yeah, if everything that this game is promising and the people involved with it land, it's going to be, maybe that year's Clair, this game that comes out of nowhere. You're like, holy shit, this is really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it does look derivative of Mass Effect, so hopefully it can do something different like Clair did, but not the worst part. Not bad. Now, I don't remember this game. Next up, we have Warlock Dungeons and Dragons, a third-person action game.
It was the Edgelord game where like Tool's playing in the background. My shadow. Like, well, it's just this warlocky lady shooting magic off. So not much to say on that one.
Oh, really? You don't have a lot?
I know you want me to sing all of what is that? Is that No, it's not Schism.
Okay, this is one of the few.
Well, it's 46 and 2.
Say bad trailers. It just didn't show enough.
This was a.
There's not enough to go on here,
Nope.
but okay. Gameplay reveal.
Shadow.
This is another 2027 game with a gameplay reveal. It looks like at the Game Awards next year. Invoke Studios. I don't know what they did, but this is Wizards of the Coast published. So yeah, maybe this is the point where I fell asleep because also this game.
I don't remember
is
this
another
one
one.
either.
I remember seeing it, but I just don't remember any of the details. This is a anime-inspired racing game called Screamer, coming next year, March 26th. This is from developer Milestone. God, there's just so many games and so many developers.
I know.
I pride myself on knowing these things. I can't anymore.
too.
You just can't.
Me too.
But yeah, it just kind of has a lot of the anime tropes of I'm going to be the best racer.
Well, it looks like they're putting a lot of effort into like this narrative, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, as a father of an almost 9-year-old boy, my guy. I mean, we all know that anime is taking over the world, but that's like he only thinks about Demon Slayer and baseball. That's all my son thinks about. So I think this
what else does a young man need?
Well, yeah, exactly. I think this game has potential. I didn't think that before I clicked play on the trailer. I was like, well, let's see what this bullshit is. But like, there's a big emphasis on the narrative, and it looks high quality and really good. So
it really does.
So if you can thread that well with like a competent, fun racer, because the racing even looks high quality too.
Right.
You could capture the attention of maybe not grown-ups like you and I, but like I could see this game being big with like a crowd of an age group of boys for sure.
And it's not a traditional racer either. I mean, you're using abilities like cars jump like ridiculously high and turn invisible and knock cars out of the way and explode. So
watching the trailer, there's not even anything to say that there's any racing in this game at all. Like that you that you control. You know, maybe it's a fucking narrative game that just has racing as a a thing. I don't know. I'm just from the trailer. It doesn't look. There's no HUD on anything. It's just kind of these narrative things that happen.
Yeah, even the description's interesting. 5 teams, 15 screamers, each with their own reason to fight.
Right.
And one tournament ready to consume them all.
It's like it almost gives me more like Dispatch vibes than anything. What are you laughing about?
I just like
a racing
I
game
just
with
like
no
the
racing?
yeah, just like your take. Like, there's probably not even any racing at all in this game.
that you do as the player.
But I mean, there's a lot in there. So,
but it's one that's like, oh, okay, I could see this maybe having a weird niche genre or in that people like. So.
All right, let's move on. Gang of Dragon. A game from a former Yakuza series creator Toshiniro Nagoshi. His new studio, Nagoshi Studio, is a new game that looks to be another Like a Dragon Yakuza game.
Yep.
This one starring our boy Madong.
All right, you got to give some more clarity than that.
That's his name, Madong.
I know his name's Madong.
From Death Stranding 2
all right.
and...
just you'll get Madong Siak.
Yeah.
First name Ma,
Train
last
to
name Dong
Busan.
Siak.
Yeah, he's a big Hollywood actor. But
I don't want
he's
anybody clipping out your voice and getting us in trouble.
Okay. Yeah, as the resident, Like a Dragon / Yakuza fan here, recently, more studios taking on that franchise, I think or that style of game is good. I think the one thing holding back, just everyday Joe, average Joe, from getting into these franchises is that there's just so much backstory.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I like the latest Like a Dragon game, I thought it was so wrestled in the lore and the history of all the games before it, all the Yakuza games before it. So I don't know.
I don't know who what's his name? The Dragon of
Dojima?
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Stop talking about him.
Yeah, Kiryu Kazuma.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that it would be nice, and I know Ryugai Gotoku is doing the same. They're moving away from that telling stories in that franchise for a little bit here. That I don't know, another game to be excited for.
Yeah, it's weird to me that, like, okay, so it's the guy who created Yakuza, and so he's going to make his own studio, and he's making a very much Yakuza game, and he's using Dragon in the title and Gang in the title. It almost seems like there was like a not amicable split. And he's like, oh, fuck you, I'm going to try and thread it as close as I can before you're sick lawyers on me. I'm sure that's not the case, but it just like I was kind of taken aback when they showed this game, named this game, and it wasn't from Ryuga Gotoku. I was like, it's weird. Weird one.
All right. Let's get up to the next one. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight had the balls to do it, to take that Grand Theft Auto 6 week. May 29th, that game is coming out from Traveler's Tales, the Lego people. Nothing shocking here. We've seen this game a couple times at this point. Is there anything you want to add?
No, I just want to know if you're going to play it because it's kind of Arkham-y.
No.
Okay.
No interest. The Lego games just don't. I don't
I've tried
like
a
them.
couple times. It just never hits.
Yeah, and this one looks to be the most interesting because it is like, usually those games combat wise are just pretty button mashing-y. Mm-hmm. But this looks to be at least using the Arkham combat, so at least you'll have, which I love.
Yeah.
So that's something. All right. Next up, Tomb Raider. It's back, as we mentioned, but not just one game got announced. 2 games got announced for Tomb Raider. First up, Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC next year, is a remake of the original 1996 game with the upgraded engine, upgraded graphics. I mean, this announcement was confusing as fuck. I couldn't tell you where the second game started and the remake of the old game began. It was very confusing. It wasn't until after the show that it was like, oh, okay, there's 2 different games and one's a remake. Because you do see, because this is again a return to, unfortunately, not Triangle Blue Blora, but at least dual pistol wielding, blue tank top, tight shorts, Laura that we're used to, and
I got to do it, Nick. It's Lara. It's Lara.
Oh, sorry.
I got to do it.
You're right. Is Lara.
Okay.
There's no Laura. Someone else mentioned another thing that Midwesterns say wrong. It's like roof.
Roof.
Yeah, it's supposed to,
Rough?
Yeah.
Roof. No.
It's not a dog.
Roof. Well, rough sounds more like a dog to me than roof. Rough. Yeah. Write in if we say anything stupid. Let us know. I'm curious.
Everything we say is stupid.
Yeah, I know, but in fair, we love you boys, but some Aussies say some things kind of weird too every once in a while. All right.
They didn't say anything. This is me just critiquing my own
I'm just saying.
thing.
If
You
he comes,
critiquing
I'm
my
saying if
thoughts.
Jesse comes back and he's like, "Yeah, you guys say this, and this weird," I'm like, "All right, man. All right, let me hear your voice. Gotta do it."
I need you to send in a voice recording of you saying every word in the English language.
Yes.
So I can analyze it. Anyway. All right. Legacy of Atlantis, a remake of the 1996 game in the modern engine, to be followed up by Tomb Raider Catalyst, which is a brand new game in the series coming 2027. According to them, this will kind of merge both worlds, the most recent trilogy with the legacy of Tomb Raider before that. They are switching voice actresses. I forget who the current...
Well, it was Alicia Vikander was the old one.
Yeah, this one is... She speaking of Mass Effect, she's a character in Mass Effect. John, find me the name.
I'm trying to find Legacy of Atlantis. I don't know who in Mass Effect, so I can't do it that way.
No.
New Tomb Raider actress.
It's like one of the top searches.
Loading. Alex Wilton Reagan?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. There you go. Alex Wilton Reagan. Dragon Age Inquisition. She was in Cyberpunk 2077.
Did you know that Sophie Turner is starring as her in the Amazon show? Lara?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I like that cast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I believe I said this to you. You just ignored me. But.
Oh, okay. Also, I tend to do that. Also, I was wrong. It was Camilla Luddington for the games. Alicia Vikander did the movie.
The movie,
Yeah,
right.
the movie.
Right. Okay. See, yeah, we're never right on this show.
Yeah, I wasn't go that far. Sorry, we're not Tomb Raider.
We were right about the divinity statue thing, all right? We were super right about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just can't be right all the time. But here we go, John. A return of Tomb Raider. Again, I believe you, on our last episode, you weren't interested
Correct.
going into this. But how do you feel now after seeing it again?
I'm interested in the remake, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of video game history attached to that game that is not playable today. I will not go back and play
They're
the
rough
original.
games to play.
Nobody wants to do that. So, and it even, what I appreciated about the way that this game looked was that it looked kind of like the level design and the layout of a very, very early mid-90s video game, but just brought to modern.
Right.
I was like, with like the swinging back and forth perfectly square like platforms that you obviously just have to jump across and do that. And,
Yeah.
So, I would expect it's probably going to be a little shorter. I imagine that's a pretty short game.
Right.
So hopefully it's like a $40 product, jump in, jump out. But if the sequel comes out, like now I'm talking about, this is why this is announcement stupid. Now I'm talking about the other Tomb Raider. If it's like, really, really good and it kind of resets the story and like there's a lot of reasons to go to it, I might check it out, but it's not something that I'm going to hotly anticipate, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is an incredibly smart way to do it. I am, as you just mentioned, Amazon is pushing for Tomb Raider. They're involved in this game as well, these games. Get everyone reacquainted with the start of the series, get everyone, at a cheaper price point. And obviously probably an easy project for them to do, most things are set in stone on that.
Well, and while you're working on the new one, we need a new character model. Okay, cool. Just transfer that over to the old
Right,
one. Okay, cool.
right.
We need new things. All right, just use like, yeah.
Right, and then
Very
just
smart.
if you can do some kind of like, I don't know, you play Legacy of Atlantis, it gives you stuff in Catalyst.
Probably.
There's a lot of cool like ideas that can be implemented with this, which I'm sure they'll do. But I'm excited for both. I mean, I remember playing Tomb Raider back in the day, and I've been eyeing those remakes. But every time I'm like, should I pull the trigger? I watch gameplay, and I'm like, no, I shouldn't.
Yeah.
So this is kind of perfect. So I'm kind of excited for this. They're both games. There's something to keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, Invincible Versus, the fighting game from developer Quarter Up, is coming April 30th of next year, launching at a $50 price tag. This came alongside a new character announcement, who I don't believe I've seen in the show, Elemental.
Yeah, I've only seen season 1.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if she could be in the next year's season. I don't know, but I don't know. This I don't know if you saw all the nominees for the best fighting games at the Game Awards.
Weak here.
Yeah, a lot of
Congratulations, Fury of Wolves or something.
Yeah,
Fatal Fury Wolves Den. Or
yes. But that changes next year with the assumption that Tokon Fighters comes out, Invincible Versus, and 2K XO as well. So the market's going to be it's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
So they had their work come out for them. I mean, the Invincible IP is pretty good. The game looks okay, but
Elemental is an original character created by Robert Kirkman for Invincible Versus.
Oh, okay.
Probably will be in future seasons if that's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Invincible is just a weird IP to me to get its own game. I think I said on this very podcast back in the day that like I don't think there's enough characters to fill out a roster. And I think that is a wrong stance. I just don't know who's like. Are there people out here that are really attached to any of these characters?
Rexplosion?
Yeah, sure. Atomy, Rexplosion. I mean, Robot's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. I just these fighting games that are not Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, or Arc System games, they just have a very big task at hand to like get people in quickly. Because if you don't get people in quickly into fighting games, you're probably not gonna do much. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Next up, we got the anime-style co-op adventure game Orbitals, announced for Switch 2. This comes from Kepler Interactive and Shape Farm. Never heard of them before, but here we go. It Takes Two wins the Game of the Year award. Mm-hmm. Here come the clones, but goddamn, is this one of the better-looking clones?
Looks really good. Really good.
And there were two of them during the Game Awards. This is the first of the two. But goddamn, they both look really, really good. I think this one especially is the anime art style combined with how they're doing the frames. Like it just looks like you're playing an anime,
and specifically like a 90s anime too. It's a retro anime style, which has a very distinct look to it.
Yeah, the style and the vibe and what they have you doing. You're piloting a spaceship at some point, and the other guy's piloting the gun. It just seemed good.
Yeah, I mean, It Takes Two, I think deserves a lot of. It's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna end up being one of those like, oh, such an influential game to the medium, but like it did unlock certain gameplay mechanics that just can't be done in other ways. Like you literally can't. It's a big ask to develop a game where it's like you have to have two people. If you don't have two people, you're not playing this game. But what that does is it allows, new ways to approach puzzles, new ways to approach combat, new ways to just approach platforming, and that's a cool thing. So I'm all for these It Takes Two clones coming out as long as they look as good as these ones do.
Yeah, just why Switch 2? Why
is
gotta
it,
be like
is
that?
It only Switch 2
right now? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, that kind of almost tells me that it's probably gonna be really good. like every once in a while when a game looks good and you go, I want to play that. And it comes only to Switch 2. It's like, that's really good. Fuck you. So, Hades 2 obviously being a big
game.
The Ori games, Hollow Knight, another one.
Neon White,
yeah. A lot of stuff goes there first. And then
yep.
Works its way over.
But, yeah, this is a game to keep an eye out for. Again, if you liked any of those co-op games, just look up this trailer. You'll be smiling. It looks that good. All right. Next up, Animo is getting a closed beta test. We can
move along,
right
sir.
over
Move
that.
along.
Next up, we got a fancy CG trailer for the next expansion for Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred, coming April 28th, 2026. This coincided with the announcement, if you pre-order this game, you can play the Paladin class right now.
Oh.
So if you're willing to fork over some cash, you can start leveling up your Paladin immediately. So
wasn't Lord of Hatred the Diablo 2 subtitle? Like the DLC?
It could be.
This would be weird if it was.
I'm sure it is. I'm not the Diablo lore guy. But
Lord of Destruction. Okay. All right. I was just like, I feel like they've used that before, but okay.
But yeah, not much really to add here. Just more Diablo.
Yeah, we're entering the these announcements kind of pay for a lot of the show territory, folks.
Yes. Next up, Marvel Rivals announced their Season 6 characters coming January 16th of next year. They're going to add Deadpool, followed by Elsa Bloodstone. Deadpool, obviously a very much requested character.
Should have followed up with Elsa from Frozen if you're asking me. Be great.
Not yet. They got a lot of Marvel heroes to get through before they start doing all their. They start bringing in characters from other universes, but
One day.
But yeah, not much to add here. Again, if you love Deadpool, you're probably very, very happy. Still waiting for my Cyclops announcement, but that's coming. All right, next up, we had Gemma Chan come out to talk about 007 First Light from IO Interactive coming. I thought we have a release date for that.
For 007?
You looked that up.
Yep, we got one.
But what we really got was a tease of
March 26th.
Okay, perfect. That the villain of a villain. I don't know if he's the villain, but the villain's name is Bama. B-A-W-M-A. And it's going to be portrayed by Lenny Kravitz, who came out on stage to talk about it. He was dressed just like the character in the game.
I know. He probably thought that was such a cool move.
But yeah, I mean, you got to hand it. It must be nice to have Amazon really pumping some money in here because
I would rather they didn't and get somebody who's an actual voice actor and who actually has some sort of like threatening look to him and not going to be a complete clown show.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
There's no way that Lenny Kravitz. I hope he proves me wrong, but that he's like an intimidating, an threatening, a multi-dimensional type character. There's no way.
Right. Right.
Like he's one of those celebrities. I'm not a Lenny Kravitz hater. I'm not a Lenny Kravitz lover either. But like even the way he kind of like walked out on stage and like his aura that he like has is like I just don't like you. Like you're just you think so highly. Like he's got that I think so highly of myself thing, which I'm not a big fan of. Maybe I'm very judgmental right now, but I don't think this is a good fit.
All right, running long, so we're gonna skip some games. All right, the smaller games.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna skip Tank Rat.
Yes.
We're gonna skip Seven Deadly Sins. The anime.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And Lords of the Fallen 2.
Yeah, their CEO is apparently a jerk.
What? They're gonna have hot characters in their video games.
That's fine. And I probably should look into it more, but I don't need to talk about anything stupid. Go.
All right, a game you do want to talk about, Saros, and I thought it was I thought I was going crazy. Mm-hmm. We love Saros. We're big fans of Housemarque, super fans of Returnal, but I thought it was like it sparked in my brain when they showed the release date after this trailer. That the game got delayed because I was like, I swear it was March. And sure enough, it was originally planned for March 20th. It is now delayed to April 30th. All good and all, but it was just one of those weird things that everyone's just like, oh, yes, that was a cool look at Saros. I'm like, it got delayed.
I wonder if this was some sort of calculated move to give a little bit away from Grand Theft Auto. And then once they got the Grand Theft Auto delay, they're like, okay, we can give ourselves an extra month.
And then on top of what we'd later find out this week is that Marathon's coming back in March as well. Another Sony published game.
It's crazy.
So they're getting this out of the way.
Give it some space. That makes sense. It's it was a little, because I felt the same. I was like, hey, April 30th. I didn't think that was a day from May, like type. I thought it was earlier in the year than that, but yeah, Invincible Versus and Saros will be competing with one another.
Do you have anything to add about the trailer itself? It seems like unlike Returnal, like there's a lot more story going on. You never had like a three-way conversation. Yeah,
there's actually a cast of characters,
right?
As opposed to one lady,
right? So that's interesting. I wonder what they'll do with that. But I mean, again, this game is going to be so much like Returnal.
And that's why I'm wondering if this game gets raked through the coals a little bit for like the similar, like, because I am so stoked to play this and I'm going to devour it, but I'm a little shocked at how like the same floating tentacle monsters that you see in Returnal, the dashing towards them and swiping with the sword to do some sort of melee thing. It's like, I know they did the inclusion of the shield type thing, But it's like, I wonder if there's going to be some people that are like, yeah, this is great, but it's just, why not Returnal 2 or whatever? And I don't think it'll impact my feelings on it, but I can see some people
I think it'll
going
make
away.
its case. It's just hard to say because we're not. Again, they talked about kind of like the mechanics, like that shield mechanic and the drawbacks to that, and we just don't see how you equip those things. What are the negatives of equipping such a thing? We just don't know enough.
Yeah,
But
and it's
I'm
enough
with
of a
you.
draw for me just to like, okay, just give me 12 new awesome guns that I can fuck around
Right,
with. I'm
right,
good with that. That's all I need.
Yeah. So no, nothing can like deter me from this game. It still looks
Yeah,
really
100%,
good. So
100%.
all right. Next up, Neon Giant, the makers of The Ascent, which was a twin-stick isometric shooter, are coming back with a first-person shooter called No Law. Basically, double A Cyberpunk 2077 is my take on this.
Yeah,
It's
that's what they're going for.
Yeah, it's
Good
basically
luck.
it's definitely a cyberpunk vibe. You play an obnoxiously big man with a big mustache.
It's
And
Magnum PI, dude, in the future.
yeah, he kind of comes off as that that I'm a retired cop kind of deal, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, this might seem unfair, but the fact that Krafton is attached to this is not a positive thing to me specifically. Krafton, they famously brought PUBG. That PUBG is their big game. Subnautica they've also done, but between some of the shadiness that seems to be happening with Subnautica 2, I think PUBG was a revolutionary game. It sold 75 million bajillion copies, but I don't think anybody can sit and say that that's a incredibly polished, well put together game. So if you're going from a twin stick isometric shooter to this living, breathing Cyberpunk 2077-esque thing, yeah, that's a leap that I feel like a publisher like Krafton is not going to allow them to either have as much time or as much money. I don't know. I feel like the chips are stacked against this one a little bit.
Definitely a bigger deal, a bigger thing to make than their previous game. But
Yeah, I mean, everything else they do is like, just
No.
looking at their page, it's a lot of kind of slop with a couple big things in between. But yeah,
okay,
oh, Hi-Fi Rush, look at that.
all right.
Well, that's right. They bought Tango. The Krafton's the one that bought Tango, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Phasmophobia is coming to Switch 2.
Cool.
Total War franchise is going to Warhammer 40K, coming to PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. How that's going to play on console, I don't know,
Yeah, franchise that looks cool, but there's no chance.
but no date. I just thought the best part, this started with a CG trailer, but then went into gameplay. But when they zoomed out on that planet and then it showed like a galaxy and like the war going across this whole galaxy, I was like, oh, man, I wish I could get into that.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, this is one of those franchises that, like, if I was a single man with just nothing else to do, like, I'd maybe dip a toe and see if I can get obsessed. But between the lore that Warhammer 40K demands and the franchise that I'm not familiar with, it's a hard skip. But I think this game will be pretty big for those who like it. Did you feel like David Harbour got a little bit of a soft reception from the crowd when he came out? I feel like he was like,
Yeah, I
they
forgot
feel like
about that.
they weren't matching his energy. Is kind of what it's like. David Harbour's an interesting one because 5 years ago, yeah, David Harbour, but like now it's like, okay, what have you done?
Yeah,
More Stranger Things,
I think we're a little tired of that
right?
personality that we were charmed with at the start of Stranger Things,
Right.
but now with Red Guardian and him showing up all over the place,
Yeah,
I think we're just tired of David Harbour.
yeah, felt a little soft.
But yeah, another guy that kind of like Henry Cavill is secretly really into tabletop gaming.
But David Harbour makes sense. Henry Cavill could be the cover of Vogue every single year, and man, I'm a lot of homoerotic stuff going on this episode.
Yeah, are you all right?
Yeah, I feel great, man. You feel great.
Are you feeling conflicted?
No, come over here and kiss me.
All right. Next up, the return of the Ace Combat franchise. Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thev coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Is it not Thev? Thief?
No, I think it is. It's just Thev. What a
Coming next year. Obviously, we're at 8, so this is a well-known franchise. Again, very The point that you made about that car game could be made here because just the focus on all the not in the plane stuff, like all the drama and scenes that you're like, what?
Just trying to be Top Gun is what it's like. We got a crew and all our monikers and stuff,
But yeah, another franchise that's secretly been around a while, secretly reviews very well. And yeah, not a lot of competition in this space, but Ace Combat 7 is one of those games I've eyed probably 100 times and never pulled the trigger on. But
yeah, I tried 7. It was a very quick, like, this is not for me.
Okay. All right. Next up, another look at Out of Words. We saw this at the Summer Game Fest. This is the claymation looking or stop motion looking characters without mouths. This is another co-op action game in the vein of It Takes Two. Looks charming as hell. I really do think Keeley sees something in this because, again, this is the second Keeley event this year. It showed up, but looks very good. We've talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Arknights Enfield coming January 22nd. Don't care.
Nope.
Phantom Blade Zero returns with a release date coming next year, September 9th, 2026. Again, this is a third-person action game. We've had quite a few looks at this game at this point. I think it actually, in the last Sony showcase we've ever gotten, it was one of the standouts there. But I'll defer to my expert on these type of games, our Souls-like games. Is Phantom Blade Zero on your radar at all?
It was a very impressive trailer. A
man fighting with a baby will do that.
Yeah, exactly. Dude's holding a baby and slaying demons, man. It's impressive. But I will say I was my one concern with this one is what my concern with Black Myth Wukong was, where it's like it seems like a lot of this is almost boss rushy, where you're doing a lot of these one-on-one standoff fights, and like I love Cuphead, I love boss fights in all the Souls games, but like it's always a nice relief when you finish one and you're like, okay, cool, I can go explore for a couple hours and like level myself up and all that stuff. And there were moments in the trailer where, you know, you're fighting more mob type characters, things you can dispatch pretty easily. I just hope it's a good mixture of the two, but it did look very good, very solid animations, smooth frame rates, things like that. Very gray. It's just dark and gray. Like there's not
Yes.
this might be the least colorful game of all time.
Yes.
But
Good point.
has a lot of promise. I just hope that it's equal parts exploration and world exploring and boss fights and stuff.
Yeah, I think, again, we'll see more of it next year, but yeah, I think they need to show what else you're doing in the game.
Mm.
All right. Next up is the second to last reveal of the show. Again, last year, Keeley, similar vibe, all getting us all hyped and worked up, and the orchestra comes on stage and it revealed a sequel to Okami. We got kind of the similar rollout here where he's teasing it. Orchestra plays. You're like, what the fuck is this thing? And we're getting a return of Mega Man in Mega Man Dual Override, which I think is Mega Man 12 at this point.
12, yeah.
Of the main numbers. Coming 2027 to every platform you can imagine. Before I get my opinion on this, we'll go to you, John, first. This, again, we got the reveal that it's Mega Man. We got a 5 seconds of gameplay. 2027 release date. Do you have any thoughts here?
Yeah, I'll let you handle like the gameplay side of it. I've never beaten a Mega Man game, so it's like not my forte.
Why am I even asking you?
Because I have thoughts. And those thoughts are, I wonder why they started moving away from just naming them like Mega Man 11, Mega Man 12, Mega Man 13. Like I know 11 was received pretty positively, but the main thing that people didn't really like about it was the introduction of the double gear system, which was like where you could like speed things up or slow things down and stuff. And I think people wanted a more just classical approach to it. And so I just hope that they realize that Mega Man is a tried and true formula. You don't need to do too much with it. It seems to push people away further than bring them into the franchise. But the other point,
Right. What is the dual override mechanic? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's in the title. There's got to be something new to warrant this not being Mega Man 13 or 12 or whatever.
right? And I feel like every time they try that, it falls flat. Like Mega Man, people love Mega Man for the challenge and how you can kind of learn the levels and just try and perfect on picture or pixel perfect platforming and things like that. My other point that I wanted to make, but I know you're going to roll your eyes at me, but I think this is a good point, is that what I thought it was, or was hoping it was going to be, was Mega Man Legends 3. And now, the reason I say that is because, Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 came out in the late 90s, and their main comparisons when they were out was the Legend of Zelda franchise. And it was a worse version of those games, but it was still kind of formatted the same way. You're going to different places, you're getting a new ability that's going to help you get through that place, right? And you're doing those type of sequences. And I think now would be such a good time to bring that back, specifically because Zelda has changed course. Zelda has decided, like, what we're doing now is the big, meaty, open world stuff, and I think that that's the right move for them. But there's a little bit of a vacuum, or at least an opportunity for, like, a Twilight Princess-style Zelda game, where it's like, if you can do that well, Capcom has been improving every single year, maybe not every single year, but they've reached a level that is very high quality. If you could put something like that together, I think that could be incredibly popular if it was done well. Despite what, I know Nick doesn't really like the Legends franchise. I don't really know them that specifically, if I'm being honest. I was 6 and 8 at the time when they were released. But I think there is an opportunity for some sort of known quantity, like a Mega Man coming out with that, like an older Zelda-style game. I think could be possible. But here we are. That's not the case, so all of it's moot.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now that this loser,
tell me I'm smart.
This loser with his invalid Mega Man opinions. All right, I'm the Mega Man guy here. All right. Back in the day, I owned Mega Man 4, so that was a big deal to me. But Mega Man X in particular is awesome. It's one of the greatest video games of all time. It is in our list of top 50 games of all time as well. This reveal just sucks. Just let's get it out there. And I'm not the only one that feels this sentiment. This seems to be the sentiment from all of the people watching. Is the art style's not good. What are we doing with Mega Man? Why show this now when it looks like such a simple design and a simple game, but it's coming out in 2027? Why are we seeing it this early? I mean, I guess if they want to course correct now after the negative reaction to it, maybe they will. But I don't know. Just make a Mega Man X game. Just do that. That series has more depth than their standard Mega Man series, and it's just a cooler series overall. It was the cooler Mega Man franchise. It was set in the future. The robot designs were more intricate. The powers you got were more intricate. Just go back to that.
Yeah.
Oh God, this just looks so bad. I've never been turned off so fast of a game. Like I said, I wonder if something will happen as a result of this. But
yeah,
we'll
I mean,
see.
it's also just weird to unveil it now, and it's a 2027 game. I'm not trying to, again, I always hate critiquing developers because I don't know the first thing about developing a video game. But just I don't know, a Mega Man game, if you do it the way that people want, I feel should still be a pretty quick thing to do.
Right.
Why are we announcing it a year and a half ahead?
And again, it's they did it last year, so they're doing it again. Everyone loved that Okami reveal. Let's do it with another classic Capcom franchise. And yeah, it's just when the game. I mean, if it ended right where we saw that it was Mega Man and didn't go into gameplay, I think we'd all be in a little more open mindset. But because we saw the game itself, we're yeah, the sour taste in my mouth. But
speaking of sour taste, we'll get to that in a second.
And I won't get into. I mean, we're running long here, so I won't get into Legends. But you're wrong.
Okay,
you're just wrong.
Okay,
go watch a playthrough of any of those games, and you'll be like, ugh.
I'm not saying that we need to have it be exactly the same way. I'm saying the bones are strong.
All right.
And there's a void.
All right. The Forest 3 was announced.
Crazy fucking trailer. Watching that again, knowing what it was after the fact, I was I forgot this was the trailer that started with a spaceship and going back in time or something. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I haven't played the games, but people who have said the Forest 2 ended on this cliffhanger, where you saw this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very creepy survival games. I remember the first Forest. You they're like they're like a Subnautica. You're kind of like building things out and trying to survive, and then the forest's take was like really creepy things would happen.
Well, there's like cannibals or something in the fringes of the forest.
Right.
And like, so
right.
I've heard it was very cool AI tech, like at the time, where it's like they're always going to be doing something different and coming from different angles, and so
it kind of got its popularity because of that dynamic things that can happen. I'm creating a fire in the middle of the night, and then just something with tentacles comes out and tries to attack my camp, and it's like, oh my god, and freaked out. But yeah, I'm with you. I think this is one of the better trailers of the show. It was unnerving.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it was very dark and very atmospheric, and the creatures looked like you were talking about this movie earlier, The Mist. It just kind of reminded me of like The Mist and like how creepy a game would be just set in the mist.
Yeah.
That Stephen King book that turned into a movie. But
yeah, I want. It might cause me to give it. I tried the Forest one. A very weak try, if I admittedly. I think I got it for like $6, and I was like, I don't know, but might cause me to take a look again. It was cool.
All right.
Cool trailer.
Next up, we have Decrepid from Jammerdoll Games. This looks to be a first-person roguelike in which you're trying to get out of a dungeon, which also has tentacle-like creatures and a bunch of creepy shit. Also looked pretty good.
I'm into this one. It's described as a first-person Souls-like with almost looks like some roguelike elements too, where like you die and you seem to spawn back into that same area. I was hoping that this wasn't a VR exclusive game. Looking at it, I was like, oh, this looks definitely like that's what it should be. But I'm into this. I'm gonna hope it does well because it looks unique enough to be a cool, fun experience.
Okay. And I know you're really going to be in this next announcement. Announced a week ago was like a collaboration between Sony and Bad Robot Games, J.J. Abrams' video game studio. And that game is called For Loop, and this is coming to PS5, PC, being published by Sony. This is basically Helldivers, but a different setting. It seems like you're in a world under an alien invasion, 4-player co-op, third-person co-op. It looked like you came down from pods in the sky too, which is very Helldivers. You go first.
Yeah, I like the idea of another.
No, don't stop.
What?
Stop. Quit being nice.
I'd like to get out what I think is positive first before I shit all over it. Is that okay?
No. You can be mean.
No, I think the creatures and I like the idea of a Helldivers type game with not just big bugs and robots, like these flying brain things look cool. But I was out at cooperative shooter. I'm out. I don't need to play one of those. I don't really have much thoughts on it besides that, if I'm being honest, man, because
it just doesn't look good. Like that, I think that's the problem.
Yeah,
it just doesn't look good.
Especially the characters you're controlling. Now, if we're talking about how my friend
little exosuits aren't great, and
these are the type of characters when I look at them, like that's a PS4 fucking looking character right there. It just I don't know. I'm always leery of people that aren't working in video games getting into video games all of a sudden too. It's like in J.J. Abrams, I think he had a really strong start to his career with the revitalization of Star Trek and Lost, but he is not the name that I go, oh, J.J. Abrams is attached. It's almost like a Michael Bay type thing where it's like, oh, he's here. Okay, well, we'll see.
I mean, again, this game could end up being good, but we'll talk about another multiplayer shooter game at the end here. But these games have to hit so hard and do so well that I don't know. Maybe this is something. We wrote off Helldivers too, right? Mm-hmm. And that became what it was, and it's a game that I put a lot of time in. Maybe this could be the next thing, but I don't know.
There's a shot of
my spider sense is tingling that something it just feels off.
Yeah, enough. There's a shot of this crazy looking creature coming at him in a forest, and that looks like a really solid looking, I don't know, design and stuff. And, if the enemy variety, because I think that's, Helldivers, it gets a little weak when you play it for a long time because, okay, it's more fucking robots, it's more of this, it's,
right.
But if you can switch it up, that'd be cool. Not for me.
Okay. All right. Next up, one of the big announcements of the show, Remedy Entertainment, the makers of Alan Wake 2, are here with the sequel to Control Resonant. coming next year. This game will have you play the protagonists of the first game, Jesse, her brother, Dylan, and he has a different service weapon. He does not use a pistol that transforms into other weapons. He uses a sword that can transform into other weapons, such as a giant hammer. And what we get is a Control trailer that is pretty gnarly, a lot of melee combat. Looks incredible.
Yeah.
I think outside of FBC Firebreak, Remedy is on fire.
Yeah, Remedy's great.
One of the best developers out there.
They're really good. They're really good. Yeah, unfortunately, they just don't get a lot of financial backing. It seems to always be their main struggle. Like you get these people that champion Control and Alan Wake, but it doesn't reach beyond very well for whatever reason. But yes, this was my personal announcement of the show, at least a game that I want to play more than probably anything. Control is arguably one of the most underrated games on the PlayStation 4 to me. It was a joy through and through, an
So
easy
good.
platinum to go get. Top tier combat mixed with top tier world building with just creepy vibes, and they always have an awesome level like the Ashtray Maze or the song in Alan Wake 2. So I expect them to kind of have something silly here too. But yeah,
Pressure's on to keep outdoing themselves.
and they're gonna absolutely try. I don't know if they will, but this trailer was dope. It's exactly what I would hope from a Control sequel. Is interesting that it seems to be more taking place in the real world, less of like this kind of entrapped area like the old house or like the cabin in Alan Wake.
The only thing that I'm a little weary of. I love the old house in that game. That was one of the house was kind of its own personality in that original game.
If you get a personality of a setting, that's a huge thing.
Right,
Rapture that's obviously what Rapture is.
What is that brutalist architecture? That was the old house, very like concrete and prison like.
I don't want to be here,
right?
Like, kind of thing. It's like exactly. That's how you feel. If I was in that building in real life, get me out.
But so for this game to I'm sure the oldest house will be in here in some way. It was in the trailer for sure. But yeah,
well, it does say on a Gamatsu article, it says explore multiple areas of Manhattan in an expansive, unfamiliar, and exciting world as an invading cosmic force reshapes the environment, defiles natural law, and distorts gravity.
Yeah, I have a feeling that something broke out of the oldest house,
Yeah, 100%.
and then you're hunting it down. And then let's also note that this, again, Alan Wake 2 came out 2 years ago. We're getting another game from them.
With Firebreak in between.
Right. Not far off. Not to say that this game is for sure coming out next year, but I wonder if because this is not Control 2, this is Control Resonant. So is it a spin-off? Is it going to be different in some ways outside of just the melee combat? Is there going to be more to this?
I don't know. I hope so.
Or less. I mean, like it's going to be a smaller game.
I don't think so. I think this is one of those. It is Control 2. It's just they're not going with that type of naming conventions, is how I feel personally. It could be a spin-off. I don't know. I think it's the big boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'm super excited for it. I mean, fucking hell. I have my favorites, but my most anticipated games of next year are like all coming at once. Mm-hmm. Like my all Silksong level games next year. And this is one of them. So
yeah,
I'm pretty excited that it's coming this soon.
Yeah, your valley won't last forever.
All right. We're on the final announcement of the show. John, the one more thing, the thing to get excited for.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's not Half-Life 3. Nope.
That's fine. It didn't have to be. It would have been cool.
Final Fantasy VII Remake 3.
Okay.
Nope. And what was your other prediction? You had one more. To end the show on. Oh, it was Divinity.
Yeah.
Nope, none of that. What we got is a game from former Respawn developers, theme of the show. Wildlight Entertainment announces their free-to-play PvP first-person shooter, Hindguard, coming next month, January 26th, to all platforms. And what this looks to be is Apex Legends meets Overwatch. It's described as a PvPvE shooter. It looks like you're fighting to control points, in which you will have to fight AI-controlled characters and kind of build up like your things, your whatever you're building up in this, the control of the map, right? The trailer ended on them summoning a big siege weapon that destroyed the enemy's shield, and they were able to attack their base. But this is it. This is what it ended on.
Yep.
Now, Keeley did make a point before this of saying, like, typically at this point we announce a intergalactic. We announce a game that's years off. It's a bold choice to go with a free-to-play shooter as your last game that's launching in a month. And as we talked about in our review, not the best choice. But what do you think of this game?
How much money did they pay you, Jeff? How much money did you get for this to get this slot?
A lot.
Yeah, no, this was a massive disappointment. I mean, I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that this is, in my opinion, the worst final trailer of a major award show or a major show. And, you got your
right.
Wii, what was it, Wii Music back in 2010 or whatever that was. Like, there's been some nonsense, but it just seemed very tone deaf. I mean, free-to-play games have easily made up the bulk majority of the monies made in this industry for a while now, and I understand that they can, generate massive player counts and things like that. But we are when you do a game award show, it's like we're the hardcore gamers here that care about who's winning best voice actor, who's doing this kind of stuff, and so to throw this out as the very last one for it to be an obvious just Overwatch type game. I'm sure there's going to be, little quirks to it. Like you mentioned, the big siege thing that happens. It looks like you kind of can infiltrate the enemy base, grab their sword or whatever it is, bring it to yours. It unlocks a thing, and you can. I'm sure there's a lot to it, but it's just like, man, you're not going to get people excited. Like at this stage, we need something that.
I think you can get people excited.
It's got to be something that people know.
I just think the art direction was pretty generic and didn't help.
I do agree with that, but I think if you're going to announce a free-to-play new team, new IP, there's nothing you can do that will excite people. I don't think there is.
Do you think if they announced that it was out right then?
No, and not as a final trailer. No, I think that would still be cool, but unless if this is the pinnacle of gaming, which again, no, It
is weird that this wasn't even followed up by press impressions, right? People have played it. It seems like this was made in secrecy. They wanted this big announcement. Maybe they did want to launch it the night of the Game Awards and just couldn't.
Yeah.
That's why it's just a month away. But yeah, I think that just seeing and again, multiplayer shooters they just don't show well.
Yeah.
They never will.
No.
They won't be cinematic. They won't be oh my God.
That's kind of exactly my point. You have to be aware of what the final game of a show does. You and I are sitting there going, please say one more thing. Please say one more thing.
Right.
And when you don't, it's just you leave a great show, a show you rated an A, a show I rated a B, with a bad taste in your mouth. And not only mentioning that, but then the game before it was a Mega Man game. It's when you had such a solid show with games like the next game from Larry and the next Casey Hudson?
Yep.
His next game. I wanted to say an executive that used to work at our company. It's just, I don't know. It seems, and that's why it's how much did they pay you? It's all right, man. I just can't imagine if you're curating the show and objectively trying to look at let's produce the best show possible. That's that's not front loaded or end loaded. It's a nice thing all the way through. It's you do not put that game at the end. You just don't do it. And I hope people who are into that like it. I mean, Overwatch won Game of the Year. It's a game that I can't stomach. You loved it. Maybe there's something here.
I remember this day the Overwatch reveal trailer, which didn't show gameplay at all.
But hold on, real quick before you go into it, because I know the art style and the characters and all that was really impressive, right?
Right, and it didn't show the game though either.
But it's from Blizzard. That I'm not saying.
You're right.
You have to have
the
all of those, but
there.
You have to have either a known team and they're doing the thing with the makers of Apex Legends and all that stuff. Cool, whatever. But you have to have an IP that is known, a banger fucking art style that really captures people's attention, or some at least one of those things, and it has none of it. It has none of it, and so. I was kind of excited when they first showed the little horses. I'm ooh, what's this going to be? This could be some cool open world thing that has a unique look to it. And then as soon as it started being PvP,
right.
Oh my God, that can't be what this is. So
yeah, and I mean, I'll keep saying this, but what if Grand Theft Auto 6 was out like it was supposed to be? I mean,
it's got a 6-month window. It's still kind of.
Oh, I'm sorry. Luck. Yeah, it was May, but originally it was supposed to be out this year. But also, what is this game is not not inspiring in a world where Grand Theft Auto 6 doesn't exist. When it exists, it's going to be off the map. This game will not make it to 2027. It's just this and Marathon have like the biggest hills to fucking climb.
Yeah.
You know, and For Loop and every other game that's either doesn't have the strength of an existing IP or an existing studio.
Just anytime you're relying on player counts, doesn't matter in what capacity, if you're relying on player counts to be a factor in the success of your game, it's just, I hope you know what you're signing up for when you do that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is basically winning the lotto to have a successful free-to-play game at this point. You know, you got to dethrone the Fortnites and the Apex Legends and the Warzones.
Arc Raiders
Arc Raiders and Battlefield 6 are just been out since October. Yeah, I mean, a very high hill to climb. Again, it shares things with Overwatch. We did see like there's a player that can control an eagle and a character that could turn into an ogre, and they do seem to be all based on Asgardian gods of some kind. I'm sure there'll be a connection to every character that we saw in God of War Ragnarok and the God of War games. There'll be a Baldur character for sure.
Jorgen Mander?
Oh, for sure.
Maybe the World Snake?
He'll be one of the maps.
Yeah, playing on the World Snake. That'd be kind of cool.
But yeah, to your point, I think whatever they paid for this final spot, they should have just took whatever money it was to just be the middle spot. Or at the beginning, I think it would have fit better, and you wouldn't have this reaction just because you took the coveted spot.
It's interesting, yeah. I mean, in a world where you could potentially create two timelines, like, yeah, let me see the timeline on how well this game does with this way, like I could see a world where it's like you put that in the middle of the show, and people are like, oh, I'll try that out, as opposed to, and maybe I'm in a bubble and I'm just an analyst that cares more than most people. But it's like, now I'm actively kind of against you, I
mean, let's be honest. A lot of people are watching this for the final announcement because it's going to be. It could have been Half-Life 3. It could have been huge.
Could have even been Hindguard.
I think setting expectations is you got to know that top spot. And like I said, I don't think Keighley will ever make this mistake again. But if I'm curating this show, I'm going. Well, I mean, they're handing me sacks of money. I'm going to go, okay. But I'm going to be like, I really don't think you guys should take this spot.
Hands off the sack. Yeah. Well, yeah, but good show overall. I left the phone call with you just going, ugh.
Yeah.
I'll go play some 1,000 Times Resist. Wash this taste out.
Yeah. I mean, takeaways, I mean, next year is going to be wild.
Well,
it's going to
be
a
big takeaway
wild.
that we have to mention. Flute guy killed it once again.
Yes,
his Donkey Kong flute cracked me up when they panned over to him with what I don't know what he was holding. It looked like a kazoo cut in a quarter.
Yeah.
But that guy's still a gem.
Yeah, the Street Fighter trailer was great. I think the Street Fighter movie trailer. I think even the section for the section for Girls Make Games, which Felicia Day came out. I thought she did a good job of a segment that a lot of people probably didn't want to sit through. Mm-hmm. That I thought she did a very good job of keeping it entertaining, helping two very young people who don't have to speak in front of
that's tough.
The legends of that industry. I think she did a good job walking them through it. The Muppets were great as well. Mm-hmm. I think Keighley's obsession with the Muppets continues to pay dividends.
Yeah.
For just the vibe of the show, keeping it light.
I did find it the thing you sent me after it wasn't Half-Life 3, and they're like, there were signs like that one of those girls' last name was Freeman. I'm like, get out of here. That's just really funny.
Yeah. So again, great show. Just those last two announcements.
Yeah. Ended on a little bit of a whimper, but
all right,
cool.
So now we can look to the future and back to a normal show. For fuck's sake, John, you got like 6 things to tease, do you?
Well, I mean, I've platinumed another game, 1,000 Times Resist, so I'll have full thoughts on that. I think I've convinced Buddy Boy over here to give it a shot.
I do have it.
We'll have a rare Nick and John impressions, hopefully. If Nick
double play?
Yeah, if Nick can get through it, I think he will.
Clicking the sticks.
And What else do I got? Oh yeah, and then since now I actually have people that I trust and like telling me that Expedition 33 is a Game of the Year winner, I can finally play it because Nick and Nick's recommendation wasn't enough, but did pick that up right where I left off. So hopefully there's not too many weeks before I crush through that one. And yeah, man, I mean, I bought Shinobi. Like I said, I'm on the peak of the mountain. I got stuff to do.
Yeah,
and I want to play. Yeah. I want to play everything all of a sudden. So
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
hopefully
it.
I can keep my family at bay and let me do what's really important in life.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, we'll have John's gaming hour next week because I'm not playing shit. I can't be inspired to play anything right now. So I'm going to give your 1000X resist the first shot, so we can both have something to talk about next week. But yeah, if you listen to this show and you're a big PlayStation fan, the PlayStation Plus wrap up is out. I'm going to be sending out an email to remind our listeners who have written in before about it to write in. But yeah, write in with your PS Plus wrap up. Again, we're interested in your top 5 games, your hours played, and your how many platinum trophies you got, and we're going to compare them against ourselves and other listeners.
Yeah.
So
then we'll start getting our Game of the Year winners and shit going.
Yeah, and then after that it'll be Game of the Year. So lots going on, and then yeah, into what is on paper one of the biggest years in gaming in 2026. So exciting stuff.
Yes, buddy.
All right. Well, we thank you for listening. If you stuck through over 2 hours of us chatting,
really,
we love you so much.
I gotta get home to my family. Holy shit.
We love you so much. Take care of yourself. Write in your thoughts of the Game Awards. We'll read them next week. But until then, we will be back next week with up to 6 things. Bye.
See ya.